you have your first Flipgrid grid. So it'll bring you to a page where you have the title of the grid you just created along with the code, and it'll automatically provide you with a Say Hello on Flipgrid topic that comes with all grids. But I want us to take a look at customizing this grid. So if you'll go up to the right hand side, you'll see Actions. If you click on Actions, you'll find Edit Grid. Once you click on Edit, you'll see the title that you've already provided and your flip code or your flip URL. If you needed to make any changes to those, that can be done here. You'll also see where you set up the grid type and your school emails in the step before. I want us to scroll down to the feature section. In the feature section, you have the ability to decide what you want the state of your grid to be. Active means it's actively taking responses. Hidden means you're not using it anymore, but you don't want to delete it. So it's active by default, but should you need to change this to a hidden state, you can certainly click on Edit and do that. Also, you get to decide if you want to receive email notifications when any videos are submitted by your participants. You can decide to get emails daily, weekly, for every new video, or never. This is basically up to you and your personal preference, but this is how you select that. For the next section, you have a toggle on and off button where you can decide if students or participants are allowed to download and share their videos after they've created it. If you don't want them to be able to do that, you toggle it off. If you do want them to be able to do that, you can leave it toggled on. Here is an area where you can decide if you want your students to get email notifications whenever you post a new topic. This will make a lot more sense when we make our first topic, but this is how you can decide if you want them to be notified or not. If you're going to use your grid throughout the year and you're going to use your Google Classroom to post new topics, you may want to leave this off so students aren't getting notified twice. It's totally up to you, however. For captions, English is already selected as an option because that will auto-generate captions so that your students who need captions as a support will be able to get that. However, if your videos are going to be in another language, this is where you would change that from English to the other language. I'm going to scroll down to this Personalize section, and you'll notice it picked a picture for me that went at the top of my grid. Now, you may totally like that picture, and that's fine. Underneath it, you'll see some topics that are topics for different grid images. So there are nature, there's some for people, and there's some that are just textured. If you want to have your own image, you will probably want to make sure that you have a JPEG or a PNG that is suitable for this size, 1500 by 500 pixels. That's because this is a panoramic image, not your typical image size. You will be able to crop it, so if you put one up that's at least 1500 pixels wide, then you would be able to crop it to the right perspective. So I have an image that I want to upload to personalize my grid, so I'm going to click here, or you notice you can drag and drop a file, but I'm going to click and choose my file that I want to use for customizing my header, and you'll notice that it gives you the option to zoom in if you need to zoom in and crop a little bit, but you can choose however you want to crop it and click crop, and you'll notice that image will be there. So I'm going to click on update grid because we've made all the changes, and now you'll see that I have a customized banner at the top. That's entirely up to you. You can just use the images that were selected by default. You can change your images, or you can upload your own. Great ways to customize, and again, we got to that by going to Actions, Edit Grid. So now that we have our grid created, now we're going to move to our next topic, which is topics.